Crafting to You, and today we're going to make a lovely card using the frame florets and the quite curvy. Now if you didn't manage to get the quite curvy, then there is something similar in the newer catalogue, so that you can still get this roller coaster shape. I'm going to call it. Okay, so we're going to start off making our card base, which I'm going to do 5 3/4 today, so that's a little bit different. Sorry, that one is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Normally I do my cards, if I'm making a smaller one, I normally do them at 5 7/8, but this one I'm choosing to do 5 3/4. So you're going to score it down the middle, and that's at 4 1/8 on your 8 1/4 side. Now, huge apologies. I found that my video's breaking up, and I've got onto my provider. It's not my internet, it's my phone that I film on. So I've spoken to them today. Hopefully they're sending me a new SIM card, but we've tried to recalibrate it to help me manage until it comes. Okay, so we'll see what happens today, but hopefully it won't pixelate and go bad. Okay, so the next piece, so this is Purple Posy, but you can do any card base, and this size, which is the Fresh Freesia, is 5 1/2 by 3 7/8. So we're just going to mount that on. I'll just put some light on as well. See if it makes a difference. There we go. There we go. I'll add some light on. Okay, so we're going to add that on with equal increment all the way round. So do this. So I'm just kind of sending a little note to a friend, really, but I don't want it to say just a note on it. I wanted to use the Made with Love from the let's turn that round. There we go. From the Quite Curvy. So as I say, if you haven't got that one, then you can use substitutes, anything that'll give you a curved finish. So that is my freesia, Fresh Freesia on top of that. Now, I started off with a white piece of card, and the white piece of card measured, let me just put that back in place so I can see, measured, let's bring it in so you can see what I'm doing. It measured 3 7/8, and the width of it is 5 3/8. So I started off with a piece of white, and then I placed my blaze on. Have I put them underneath? Yes. So the Quite Curvy one with excuse me, the flowery, fleur-de-lis, whatever you like to call it, the fancy bit. Now just be careful when you're placing these on, to pay attention to where you can see that the cutting bit is. So that is the cutting edge. So when you place it on, I want you to place it so that you place this that dips as close to the bottom as you can. So if you see, I placed it there very close to the bottom. There was only round about 1/8 in the centre bit there, and just make it go like that, and then that'll give you the nice edge at the bottom. So I'll do that, and then I'm just going to, no, I'm not going to glue that down. So we're going to glue these two together first before putting it on there, because I'm going to be adding ribbon and I want my ribbon to tuck round the back. Now, this piece of card, again, this is fresh freesia, and this measured, to start with, it measured 5 3/8 by 3 1/4. And again, I embossed this. So I got the piece like that, and I embossed this first, because this embossing folder is quite textured and the flowers stick up a lot, that actually running it through my die cutting machine flattened them a little bit. So that was my intention. That is why I did it. Now, if you've got a more subtle embossing folder, I would emboss afterwards. But if you've got one that's quite ridged or bumpy that you're going to use, just run it through your emboss first and then do the cutting after to flatten it a little bit. Okay, so I placed that again on it, and I'll just show you. Now, again, pay attention to where the cutting bit is. So that cutting bit wanted to go at the bottom. So I'll show you. The cutting bit is there. So that goes along the bottom there. And I've placed it so close to the bottom, there's only a tiny bit. Can you see? There's only that tiny little bit there. So we're going to put these two together now. So I'm going to make sure I've got plenty of glue on this with it being embossed. So I'm going to make sure all the flat pieces, picking more of the flat pieces up so I can put it down. Okay, and then I'm going to put this exactly over the top, so it's level with the top and level with the sides there, and just smooth that down. Right, now I like to put a bit of tear and tape when I'm putting ribbon on. I'm going to just place this, and I want my ribbon to go underneath this, so I'm thinking possibly about there. Yes, I think something like that. So I'll just move that over. Right, now the ribbon, I'd got fresh freesia ribbon and it wasn't standing out enough, so I have used my polished pink, and I've just used my blender pen and wiped over my ribbon. And this is the ribbon. These are the two offcuts that I cut yesterday. So as I told you, I will use, when I cut ribbon off, I will use it on other projects. So straight away I've used it the day after on this. So I'm just going to get a bit of ribbon, bit of tear and tape. So I'm going to put it roughly there, and that's going to go across there. And I like to rub over it and then pick this up and put my ribbon. I'm going to put my ribbon going over the top like that, so that will secure it for me in place. Then I'm going to turn it over and then put some tear and tape to just this is brand new tear and tape that I've got. I do like our tear and tape. The reason I do like our tear and tape is I have used other tear and tapes, and people like to keep your cards when you hand make them, and I have used other tear and tape in the past, and when I've gone back to the cards maybe a year later, it's all like yellowed and gone horrible. ours doesn't do that. I've not noted that on ours at all. So ours might be more expensive, but I'm afraid you get what you pay for. So I really don't like to use any double-sided apart from my Stampin' Up! Tear and tape. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back in, and I'm going to put some glue over my ribbon. I like to put glue over my ribbon, and then I'm going to get it all around the sides like that. So do that. You can see that the glue is starting to take up the taking off some of the alcohol markers. Right, so this is a choice. You could make these two as wide as the underneath piece. I've just done a little bit of an increment just to make it a bit different. So I've just made a little increment all the way round. So I've taken that off. Right, now I've got these to stick on here. So I'm actually going to stick those to that first. So let me go back to this. So this is the frame for the frame florets or fitting florets. So I've used the oval that cuts out. So I will use that on another project, so don't get rid of that. And this, of course, is the Made with Love that I've put on is in the fresh freezer, and that is from the Quite Curvy, the actual sentiment. The flowers, however, are from the Fitting Florets and die cut out. And of course, I've coloured these, and this time I've used blender pens. So I've used the light Highland Heather for the flowers, the Granny Apple Green Dark for these leaves, the Granny Apple Light for the inner leaves. I've used the light, or was it the dark? Actually, I might have used the dark for the, no, I didn't, apologies, no. I used the light for these flowers here, but I used the dark for these little bits here. Okay, now can I get away? Yes, I'm going to go for it. I'm actually not going to stick it up on dimensionals. I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible to see if I can put this through second post without it costing to do a large letter. So I'm going to try and keep it as flat as possible. So I'm putting that on there. I am going to bring this in now because I want to just take this underneath, and I decided to just do one of these knots. So I'm just going to do my knot there. I'll cut that in a minute. So just wanted one there, and then they've got this little sprig that's in the Quite Curvy as well. So I thought, and it's detailed, so yes, it is picking it up. You can see that it embosses it, and I just thought, ooh, I like that. And I don't know whether I've used it much. And I just thought I'd, let's see, just going to put that so that it just covers that bit there. So let's move it over here a little bit. So there we go. Take off any excess glue. So I thought that was nice. And then I'm going to just cut that off there and cut that off there. So you've got kind of like a faux bow going off there. Now, coming in with my glossy dots, I'm loving these glossy dots, as you've seen me work with them quite a lot. But before I do the glossy dots, I've got some really old, they've like got raindrops on them, but there is some round ones, and I want to have some pink to go on there. So I'm going to use my dark polish pink, and I'm just going to colour these. So these, because these are a little bit smaller, so I'm going to use those. And how many do I want? I want 4, so I'm going to colour 4 of these. I'll say this is my alcohol blender pen. Whoops, that's coming off there, so hopefully that's going to stick all right, because I've coloured that. If it doesn't, I'll be colouring it with glue. Not colouring it with glue, I will be doing it with glue on this. And so I've had these donkey's years, absolutely donkey's years. They are Stampin' Up. I don't know what they were called, but I seem to have got them out of the packet, and they'll dry quickly. Just giving them a couple of coats because I want them to be dark pink. So just let them dry there at the side, and then go back to picking up, because I want to pick up the smaller purple. But can you see, I'll put them against it. The smaller purple, you see, are quite large, and I don't want the large ones to go on my little petite flowers. So I'm gonna have the purple ones. Now I've been sending these all over the table. There we go. So that's going to go on there like that. They are lovely, really pretty, these. That's it. And that's going to go on there. And then another. So I like to stick them on my tool, as it makes it easier to stick where I want them. There we go. And then come back to these now. So pick that off, and that's going to go there. Lovely. And that one can go on there. Yep, that's stuck. And pick up this one. There, and the last one go on there. Okay, now breaking the golden rule here, because you're supposed to have an odd number, so I think I will just stick let's see, should I go for the, when it's further away it doesn't, so just a medium. I'll go for a big one and just stick that. Is it? We'll just stick that one there, just to make it that odd number. So I hope you like that. So I've used a few different techniques, dyeing ribbon there with blender pens, also dyeing my gems to make them the colour that I wanted them, and I've used old and new stamp sets. Do remember that if you subscribe to me and you watch me regular, that I buy what I like and I keep it. So the quite curvy I've had a long time, and I'll not get rid of it, so it will come out from time to time. But there's always something in a current catalogue that you can use. I mean, there's some beautiful edge dies at the moment that you could do it rather than doing this. There's one that kind of bends like that, and you could do that one. So you don't have to do the quite curvy. You could just cut it like this if you wanted to. So there's lots of options that you can do. I'm just showing you something that I've done, but you can take the card size and do the different layers and use the oval and do my layout as I've done. So hope you like that. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay safe, stay well. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.